Welcome to William Hill's Big Fight Facebook Live. We've been here all week. I'm Gareth, Davies. We're at the Encore today. I'm with Coach Owen Roddy. This has been the base for the last couple of days, hasn't it, Owen?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so
it's
exciting
nice.
now.
Oh yeah, we're nearly there. Weigh-in day. So one more, as I said, I've been saying for the past while. We've had all these milestones. Obviously, the last milestone is always the weigh-in. Conor's in perfect place to make the weight, and yeah, we're nearly there. So
it's going to be very exciting. Weigh-in day is always one of those occasions where the fans get to interact with the two fighters for the first time this week, really, because the press conference was quite subdued because Conor didn't have his fans in there as usual.
Yeah, they didn't open it to the fans for some reason,
which was a real shame, I thought, in many ways. Yeah.
Well, just as I said, that's the way they do it in boxing in the UFC. You know, they've opened it to the fans and let them have a few questions. The fans have been singing, but the Irish are in town, and it'll be loud today, most definitely.
Oh, the atmosphere's really been building the last 24-36 hours. What did Conor say to you after the final press conference? How did he feel about it?
He felt good about it. Yeah, he was excited. You know, that's just work to him. He's just got to get it all done, and then all he wants to do is fight. So nearly there. One more little task at hand, and then ready to go in and fight.
Talk us through the weigh-in process, because you're happy that he's just got a little bit to lose now before 3 o'clock.
Yeah, as I said, so George Lockhart, he takes over now. We've been working with George Lockhart for the last couple of fights. The nutritionist. He's unbelievable at what he does. He has Conor on point, and Conor's almost there. So we'll be ready at 3 o'clock, most definitely.
And what does he do? Is he with Conor the entire time and weighing him every few hours, and Conor doing his whatever it is, his salt baths or whatever? I don't know what he does.
I mean, there's a lot of science behind it. Now I can't speak on it. George is the man you would need to speak to, but he's just monitoring the weight, making sure Conor's getting the right nutrients and stuff in, making sure he's getting the right amount of water in, and monitoring how the water will come off. But we're nearly there.
And we expect Conor to be much heavier than Floyd on the night? Yeah,
well, I mean, even at the press conference, you can see Conor is naturally the bigger, stronger, longer man, like, do you know what I mean? And fight night, he will be a good bit bigger, most definitely.
In fact, some of the photos from them facing off at the press conference, you see Conor has a bigger neck, bigger head, bigger torso.
Yeah.
He really is going to be maybe a weight division and a half in boxing heavier than Floyd.
Yeah, possibly. Like, I know Floyd, I think he doesn't cut really. He walks around at that weight. So most definitely, Conor will be the bigger man, and that will play a part.
And
definitely.
You are. I did an interview with you earlier in the week, of course, on the first day here on Monday, and you are convinced that Conor is going to shock the world.
Yeah. It's, you know, as I said, coming from the camp, we know what Conor's been doing, and we know how well the camp has went. We know how good Conor looks, and he's going to shock the world. There's no doubt in my mind.
The odds, of course, with William Hill. Conor is 10-3, Floyd 2-9. Several $1 million plus bets coming in on Floyd yesterday. The high rollers are in town. They're betting $1 million to win 300,000. Well, what's going to happen, Roddy?
They're losing $1 million, most definitely.
Listen, William Hill will not be beaten on round betting, of course. Those odds again: Conor 10-3, Floyd 2-9, and the draw 40-1. Are we on the cusp, Owen, of witnessing one of the greatest sporting upsets ever in any sports history?
Yeah, most definitely. I just, you know, people don't realise what's coming tomorrow night. Conor is going to shock the world. The team knows, Conor knows, and the world will know tomorrow night, most definitely.
Do you think Conor feeds off the fact that the whole of the boxing world has written him off, that he hasn't got what it takes to beat this guy who hasn't been beaten for 49 fights in 20 years?
Yeah, you know what, this is a common occurrence. Every single fight, no matter who they put in front of Conor, he can't do it. He can't beat the wrestler, he can't beat the jiu-jitsu guy, he can't beat the all-rounder, he can't beat the guy that's bigger than him, he can't beat the guy that's smaller than him, he can't beat the pound-for-pound guy. This is just, you know, a repeat occurrence for us every camp. It's just, we're just doing it in the sport of boxing.
And we were with you in the coach's house earlier in the week. We were in the performance centre.
Yeah.
You've all moved here to the Encore. Yeah. You've got a whole floor of the Encore, I understand.
Yeah. Obviously the Team McGregor and Conor's family and all, the floor up on the encore. Yeah, it's the surroundings are a lot nicer now. Although you were in the house is pretty nice as well. But yeah, staying in the encore is it's a little bit nicer.
It's fascinating this week. Conor has kept very quiet during the week. He's not making a lot of public appearances. He's kept himself to himself. Is that unusual for him?
No, you know what? All we've been doing, like, there was less media obligations for him, which is great, because all Conor wants to do is train and eat and train and do what he needs to do. So that's what we've been doing. I think you'll see a different Conor on the weighing scales today, most definitely. I don't think he'll be as quiet as he has been all week.
Do you ever get a call from him that, you know, I want to go and do some pad work right now in the middle of the night or early in the morning or just out of the blue?
Yeah, a lot of the time. Yeah, throughout the camp, like as I said, he's a perfectionist and he obsesses on getting everything perfect. So if we do 12 rounds and 1 or 2 shots in those whole 12 rounds went good, he'll message and say, look, I didn't like that. We could go back to the gym at 2 o'clock in the morning and walk again. But there's a reason why he is at the top of the sport, and he is the greatest combat athlete ever. That's the reason.
We're taking your questions, of course. One of the things that Artem Lobov mentioned to me a couple of days ago was you don't necessarily look at pure boxing technique, but you look at effective fighting within boxing. It's a very nuanced, a very fascinating thing.
That's a nice way of putting it. Yeah, because I mean, the people would say, especially boxers would say, you know, the technique of this shot wasn't perfect, or the way he threw that uppercut wasn't perfect. But you know, Coach Kavanagh said it the best. It doesn't matter how the shot looks. If the shot landed on the chin and it had a damaging effect on the opponent, then it was effective. So, some of the shots might not look, technically perfect, but if they land and they do damage, then it was effective.
Is Conor's pull counter very important in this fight? Because Floyd may not have seen that from the angles that Conor throws it before.
Yeah, look, we all know that's one of Conor's big shots. He lands it on everybody, and no doubt he will land that shot. But Conor has many other shots that he's going to land as well. And he's going to be very unpredictable. He's going to be very hard to read. So
has he got a few tricks up his sleeve as well?
Yeah, most definitely.
I saw the hop punch the other day.
Yeah,
that's him playing around.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, it's probably him just playing around. But listen, he will have shots that will surprise Mayweather, most definitely. And he's going to look. People don't realise how good he's going to look in there. He's going to look the part, and he's going to land those shots. It's going to be an exciting night.
I did a big piece in today's Telegraph talking to about 15 voices from boxing and MMA. Brad Pickett's former UFC fighter and actually boxed as an amateur, saying what Conor needs to do is be unpredictable, make it messy, be aggressive, even, and I mean, you're not going to condone this, even get in there and be very roughhouse with Floyd early on, get him looking towards the referee, making it unorthodox, getting Mayweather off his game. Is that a good strategy?
Yeah, that can be a good strategy, most definitely. The thing is, Conor's going to go in there and he's going to do it all. You know what I mean? He's going to be able to do it all. And when he's let's say he's roughing up Mayweather, and the next time Mayweather expects him to rough him up, he won't rough him up. He'll probably land some clean shots. When he's expecting to land clean shots, Conor would switch it up and do something different. He will be unpredictable, and it will be very, very difficult for Mayweather to beat.
I just want to throw some questions to you,
way,
Owen. Great question from Matt Sherwood. What's the camp and Conor's reaction to Floyd and Malignaggi saying Paulie was sent in there as a spy?
Look, at the end of the day, they can say what they want. Well, that would, in my opinion, that would work in our favour.
Exactly.
Because Paulie's got to go back and say, Paulie's got to be honest with himself. Like, I was at the spar. Anyone that was at the spar knows what happened. So if he was a spy, then he's got to go back and tell Mayweather that he's in for a tough night.
The odds again, by the way: Conor 10-3, Floyd 2-9. A lot of $1 million bets coming in on Floyd. The draw 40-1, and of course William Hill, as we put out all week, will not be beaten on round betting. Kenny Anthony asks, thanks for all your questions all week. Does Conor get tired from the weight cuts?
No. I mean, Conor's made this weight. He's made weight many times before, He's never had an issue making weight. He's always done it to perfection. He refuels, you know, perfectly. That's obviously George's side of things. He always refuels on point, and he goes in there like an animal, and he'll do that tomorrow night as well.
Katie McEwen-Cairns doesn't give a question. She just says Conor to demolish Mayweather.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And there's another one here from Kenny Anthony. Go on the son of Ballymoon.
Hey, the son of Ballymoon.
Kenny Anthony also asks, who would win in a fight between Coach Roddy and Coach Kavanagh?
Well, Coach Kavanagh is my coach, so I'd have to say Coach Kavanagh.
Does he submit you?
Yeah.
After you've knocked him out,
in jiu-jitsu, yes, he most definitely.
You knock him out, then you lie in his arms and pretend
maybe boxing might be different, but yeah, on the ground he is an animal.
Neil Asquith has a theory that he's worried that Conor will blow himself out early, missing, and Floyd could take advantage of that.
Nah, that's not going to happen. No, I mean we've prepared for everything, so that won't happen.
In this piece that I said I've put out, Henry Hooft, one of the greatest kickboxers of all time.
Big fan of Henry.
You know, and Conor has great kickboxing skills as well. He's saying that the key for Floyd is the key for Conor against Floyd is that Floyd is a very, very long and rangy puncher, and his movement in and out will be vital in this. That he can create big space between himself and Floyd, and he doesn't think Floyd will do anything different to what Floyd's ever done, and yet he won't have seen any boxing videos of Conor. Yeah,
this is it. Like, I think everybody can look at Floyd and say he does the same shots over and over again. Now, it's different when you're in there, but he has very predictable patterns. He throws very predictable shots. He exits the same way almost every time. He rolls out the same way. He reacts to a jab and a cross the same way. Conor fights different, and a lot of time he had range on his opponents. Conor will have the range. Conor will have the height. Conor will have the size. Conor will have the unpredictable movement. Conor has laser reflexes. Sorry about the course. So I just think that all plays in Conor's hand.
William Hill are asking themselves, this is from William Hill themselves, what next for Conor? Nate Diaz or another boxing bout?
I can only say that I don't know, but whatever it is, it'll be bigger and better than this fight.
Do you think the trilogy fight will happen with Nate Diaz?
It would be a great fight, yeah, most definitely, but who knows what's going to happen. That's one of the things that I enjoy most after Conor fights, is to see where we go next.
Have you talked about the possibility of going to Russia for a big fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov?
Yeah, there was talk of that. There was talk of Nate. You know, there's so much up in the air, but we don't know yet. We will see.
Is it true, Paul Fogarty says, that you crashed a 400k Ferrari yesterday, driving the wrong way up the road? And we want the honest truth.
I did not crash a Ferrari. I almost crashed a Ferrari.
You didn't pull out and go left on the left-hand side.
Well, the problem was, everybody drives on the wrong side of the road here. So, like, it was their fault, not my fault. Thanks, Paul.
They drive on the wrong side of the road here, basically. Yeah. That's what it is. Dan Hardy also saying that, and this is a fascinating thing, that MMA is much more free-form because it's still a developing sport, whereas you learn certain tram lines and rhythms when you've been doing boxing all your life. It's very grooved, and it's impossible to move out of that variance. Do you think that is a factor
that's
as well?
True. Like, you know, if you're throwing shots a different way in boxing, you will be told, no, this is the way it's done, and it's the way it's always been done, and you do it like that. And there's, you know, a lot of times there's good reason for it because it's very effective. But then you'd see people that come along like Prince Nassim and Roy Jones Jr. that do it differently and change it up. And they're told that they're awkward and unorthodox, but they're always effective. And, you know, Conor has a lot of those traits as well.
Chris Lytle, who had 15 boxing bouts as well as being a brilliant UFC fighter. He won 14, I think 13 1-1, I think his 15 professional boxing record was. What he was saying to me was, what Conor perhaps has to be wary of is Mayweather employing the jab in this fight. Because the jab is the basis for boxing, the foundation. And that it's very important that Conor doesn't allow Floyd to establish that
Yeah.
jab, because the jab takes away the left hook counter, it takes away so many things.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you worked on that particularly,
Yeah,
about kind of avoiding that?
Yeah, like I mean, we know all. I've watched hundreds and hundreds of hours. The team has watched hundreds and hundreds of hours on Mayweather. We know about his jab, we know it's quick, we know it's fast, and we have answers for everything.
Come on, Coach Owen, Roddy, Matt Sherwood says, how much have you got on Conor to win?
I don't bet on Conor, but if I was going to bet, I'd bet everything I have.
Artem was saying to me earlier in the week that after this fight, you'll have to put millions of dollars on just to win matchsticks on Conor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like I mean, it's crazy that like, if you look at Conor's career, look at what he's done. How many times he's defied the odds. This is going to be the same.
You know, I've got to say this, Owen. I remember interviewing Conor in the Gibson for a big BT Sport documentary.
Right, yeah.
Where we went and we had a back and forth where he was saying, no, I'm the champion. It was before Jose Aldo. I said, well, actually, technically, you're the interim champion. We had a big row back and forth.
I remember.
Interim,
yeah.
He went, no, interim.
Yeah.
It was a brilliant...
He was the champion.
He was the champion. And he loves an intellectual back and forth as well. One of the things that I remember him saying at the time was, I said, oh, you're going to get a few million and get out of the sport. He said, no, it's going to be hundreds of millions by the time I leave this sport. Does he surprise you all every day with this? You know, as I say, he swallowed the Blarney Stone, he's Mystic Mac, does he surprise you? Does he just come out with things that just shine in a way, you know?
Yeah, like he doesn't surprise me anymore because he's done it so many times, but at the start, you know, these tasks, these goals he sets, these, you know, unattainable goals as you would think, then he attains them.
He makes the unattainable attainable, yes, you're right.
And this is the thing, so I'm not surprised anymore. If he said I'm just going to go fly to the moon next month, I wouldn't doubt him. No matter what he says.
Odds on Conor flying to the moon, William Hill, please. You never know, he could be on those first flights to the moon. It wouldn't surprise me, it really wouldn't. If he comes out with that out of the way.
Oh, God.
John Mason says, has Conor had to tailor his diet for this fight, or is it about quantity? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, now he's, as I said,
You've clearly tailored yours.
I think, you know, when Conor goes into camp, they all go into camp. But George Lockhart is the nutritionist, and he does whatever it takes to get Conor to the way, to get the best out of Conor for each particular fight. Obviously, this fight, people are saying it's going to be more endurance-based and stuff like that. So diet and training would resemble that.
Is Conor upstairs right now?
No, he's still in his house.
He's still in his house, but he's with George and Dee and the baby.
Yeah.
I see the baby was in Conor's best attire the other day. He was wearing Conor's suit.
He almost wore the suit better than Conor. You know? Yeah, what a suit. Isn't that unbelievable? Yeah.
Oh, it was very, very funny. So, you know, it's 10:15, 20 past 10. The weigh-in's at 3 o'clock. What happens over the next 5 hours now then?
You just check the weight, make sure that it's coming off as it should, and then go in, get it done. The crowd will be insane.
It will.
Conor will feed off that, the team will feed off that, the crowd will feed off Conor, and then go home, refuel, and get ready for tomorrow.
A couple more questions coming in. Davey Boy Smith, what round should I bet on Conor to win, Owen?
Well, he said 4, so we would say 4 too.
You've said 4 all week as well,
yeah.
haven't you? Know? How important is it for Conor to impose himself early in the fight, or will it be a cagey start?
Well, Conor will go out and take control, and if Mayweather tries to stay in there, he'll get hurt, and I think he'll back off and play the Mayweather game. So Conor will take control early, most definitely.
Simon Gates says, what weight will Conor go into the ring at?
I don't know, but he will be bigger and stronger, most definitely.
I'm betting that Conor's going to go in at about 166 pounds, 168 pounds in my view. He'll be very big, yeah. As I say, a weight division and a half bigger than Floyd Mayweather. Elvis Jones, what a great name. Elvis Jones, baby. It's Vegas, baby. It's fight day. Fight day tomorrow. It's weigh-in day today. Hey, Elvis. What's the funniest story you have about Conor?
Oh God, there's so many funny stories. I can't really think of one to hand, to be honest. we all know Conor's very, very funny guy. Yeah, he's always funny.
I just want to do the round betting, of course, the betting on the fight, of course. Conor 10-3 with William Hill, Floyd 2-9, as I mentioned. Lots of $1 million bets coming in on him as the private jets rolled up on the private runways here in Las Vegas. There'll be a log jam on Sunday morning as all those A-listers and those money spinners, the high rollers, leave Vegas, delaying all the charter flights for the fans going home. The draw is 40-1, and William Hill will not be beaten on round betting. I'm with Coach Owen Roddy. He's telling us this is going to be the biggest upset in sporting history. He's going to do it, isn't he, on Saturday night?
Most definitely.
It's been brilliant to see you again. Thank you so
Always
much
a
for this
pleasure.
week.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant fun. See us tomorrow. We're going to be in another location. It's goodbye from the Encore for now. This is the Big Fight Live for William Hill at Mayweather versus McGregor.